are going to answer, I am going to answer some of the questions that we've had from viewers that have come up in the comments and I'm seeing more frequently. I wanted to take the day to answer some of those questions for all of you. And, you know, obviously it's going to save me the time of having to type out the answers, but I want to give you those answers. So today is Q&A day. Okay, a question I want to answer is, why didn't you bring the dog with you? And the reason why, she is mainly an outside dog. She does live in the house, but she loves to be outdoors. And we knew when we were planning out the move that we were most likely going to be living in the city to start off with. We were going to be in a very small condo, and that is not something that she's accustomed to at all. She is very used to being able to go in and out as she pleases. She has a lot more space to run around and be free. And we knew that that wasn't going to really be fair to her, to put her from big open space to a small, tiny condo unit. I think the secondary reason to that is that she is what a lot of people call a pandemic puppy. And basically she doesn't have a whole lot of socialization. She really grew up with just us and only us around. And so she's not used to other people. It takes a lot of time to get her to get used to other people. And so she's always kind of on guard dog status, which is great when you have a great big house and a big yard, but not so great when you're living in a small condo. So we opted to actually leave her back in the States. She is currently living with my parents. She is very well taken care of, and we do hope to eventually get her here once we have more space, maybe a bigger house or a province area for her to live in. So we do hope that she gets to come and actually live with us soon. All right, another question that we have seen pretty often in the comments is, what are we going to do for a living? A lot of people have explained that it's difficult to get jobs here in the Philippines. People have said that, you know, being a vlogger is not going to sustain us or be able to keep our family afloat. And the short, long answer to that is we actually have other businesses back in the States. I have an Etsy shop that I currently run that's all digital creations, digital content that I do through Etsy. And then I also have a secondary business that sells sustainable home organizing solutions in the US. And so I'm trying to work on branching that out as I've moved here. I have so many different ideas that I want to do with that, but that kind of has to wait for a minute until we get ourselves fully planted and comfortable. And my husband has other business opportunities that he is a part of there. We invest, we have passive income that comes from that. So we have other sources of income. And on top of that, you all know we sold our house and we happened to just sell it at literally the right time from what we've been told. Not intentionally happening that way, but it did happen that way. So we're very grateful that we've got a nice savings to utilize should we need to. But that is where the majority of our income, whoa, the sun just came out and I am so bright. That is where the majority of our income is coming from at this time. Another question that we get is people asking why we chose to live in the city versus the province, or why we're living in the city instead of the province, or why not move to the province. There's a lot of different variations of that question. But basically, we knew we wanted to experience both parts of living in the Philippines. So we chose to go with the city first, really because of the convenience factor of it, because we knew that BGC was a lot more westernized, so us growing acclimated to everything was going to be a lot easier going into BGC versus going straight into a province. The secondary answer to that is that we want to actually build a home at some point, and, you know, from the ground up here in the Philippines, and we'd like to do that in a province. So we want to find a good province area for us to move to, somewhere that's going to be easy for us to build, and then we're going to be able to build the house that we want. Rowan, tell me what kind of gelato you got right now.
Strawberry with the so-called mini mallows.
Mini mallows? What do you have?
Milo dinosaur gelato. Amazing. Best gelato ever.
A mango gelato. Oh, Bug tried to get me. Very creamy. Delicious. Various fresh mangoes in there. Oh, it's a shot. Did you get this? I didn't ask for a shot, but I'll take it. Oh my gosh, that's like the biggest coconut ever. Fresh buko juice.
Can you open
I actually haven't had one of these since we've been here. We've been here how long and I still haven't had one of these? Next question. It's been a question, but also a suggestion as far as schools for the boys. So people have been giving us different suggestions for schools to look at in BGC area. But also the question has come up about where are the boys going to school. And we've actually chosen to continue homeschooling them. And so at the onset of COVID, obviously with schools having shut down, we transitioned into a homeschool program with a Catholic-based homeschool known as Seton, because the boys were actually in private Catholic school prior to COVID. So we went and we moved ahead with that program, and we decided to continue with it here in the Philippines because it is a US accredited program. Eventually, if we were to want to move back, or if the boys wanted to go to college in the US, all of their education is essentially transferable. And so we chose the option of Seton in order to be able to do that. And then we actually recently just found out that there's a whole Facebook group of Seton families in the Philippines that we can connect with. So I'm really hoping to connect with and, you know, chat with some of those other parents who are sort of utilizing that same program. A huge part of why we chose to go the route of homeschooling the boys is so that we could continue traveling worldwide. And it's going to allow us the flexibility to be able to travel where we're not on a school year calendar. So we don't have to plan our trips and our travel around summer break, spring break, Easter break, whatever break there is. We don't necessarily have to plan our travels around those time frames. We can go on a Tuesday and not have to worry about them missing school. So it'll be really great. I have actually been seeing a lot of posts from my friends back in the US on Facebook. All their kids just started school this week. So keep an eye out. We'll be putting out our first day of school post very soon. Maybe being out here at the pool is probably a good segue for this next question. I get asked a question actually about how I stay in shape or how I keep my figure with as much as we eat out. And it's a weird question for me to answer because I don't feel like I am staying in shape. I don't feel like I'm keeping any sort of figure. In fact, over the past year or so, I would say that I've definitely put on some weight for sure. And there was a time a few years back where I was doing CrossFit 5 times a week. And it was fabulous. In fact, I'd love to get back into it because that was a point in my life where I felt like I was the fittest, the most comfortable in my body, and also it had a huge effect on my mental state. I was much more relaxed, much more calm. My anxiety was not an issue. It's changed a little bit since then. And so I do want to start working out again. I do use a program called Street Parking currently. I don't do it as often as I should, but I will be doing it more on a regular basis. I can put the link down below for anybody who might be interested in that. And that's really what I do as far as working out. And food-wise, I really just try to watch my intake. I usually eat the boys' leftovers, honestly, or I'll order something, but I won't eat all of it, and I'll use the rest maybe the next day for breakfast, or I'll eat it again for lunch. So I just kind of watch my portions. That's really all I'm doing, and perhaps it is genetics. I don't know. Okay, next question. Where's your husband? That question gets asked quite a bit. People are asking where he's at, why we don't showcase him in the vlog. What is he doing? He is here. He is with us. He is most often behind the camera, and he also handles all of the editing. So I have to give major credit to him because he's the one that kind of puts this whole mess all together for you guys. He takes care of most of it. He is really great at understanding videography, photography. He is incredibly talented, and so I ask him to handle all of that. As far as being part of the vlog or in the vlog, it's kind of hit or miss. He has done a couple of little things here and there, but I think that the vlog itself is more about me and the kids, learning to be a part of this culture. He is part of that. He is helpful with all of it. So he's there, he's behind the scenes, and he's incredibly helpful, and we honestly couldn't do it without him. Next question. Are the boys twins? No, they are not. They are 7 and 11. Rowan is 7. Bunso is what he is more commonly known as here on the channel. And Kason is Kuya. He just turned 11 years old. So they are not twins. I like this bamboo backdrop. I feel a little shiny. Oh, what was that question? Oh, maybe not so much a question, but an observation that I've had in reading a lot of the comments. A lot of people have said, you know, why won't you just take an extended vacation, 3 months off work, go travel the Philippines and vlog about that? I don't know if it's a common misconception or just a misconception by the people who were commenting, but I don't have that ability. I didn't have that ability with the job that I was doing, nor did my husband. We cannot take off that much time from work to go travel. We don't have the ability to accumulate vacation time and sort of use it en masse. I had to use up the only vacation time that I got at my job. I got 3 weeks every year, which is roughly 21 days, and I had to use it every single year. So I really couldn't take a 3-month vacation and just travel the world, travel the Philippines, do what we really, really wanted to do. We didn't have that ability. My husband didn't have that either, so this move and doing things in this way just made better sense to us. Next question. It's more of a runner-up question, I think, and it's something I do want to address. We've had some comments on prior vlogs asking why are there negative vibes, and first off, I want to apologize if there's any sort of negativity that comes out of what I've been sharing, because that is not in any way what I'm trying to do. I am trying to share the most honest and real version of what I feel like is going on. And I am an emotional person. I have a tendency to cry over good things and bad things pretty regularly. It's just who I am. It's how I am, and I appreciate being able to share that with all of you. I believe in the power of positivity 100%. I think that having an optimistic attitude and a positive outlook going into anything is really what gets you through those things. And so I don't know, you know, the people who commented those things, if they had seen prior vlogs or if they have been watching any of our journey from the get-go, the positive energy is really what fuels me. It is what helps me, and I try to use positivity to our advantage as a family on a very daily basis. We do positive affirmations, we use positive language when we speak to each other, and so what I want to do is I want to show everyone out there who is watching the real of everything. So there might be some things in there that I might not have the most positive reaction to, but it's real. And I think that's what's most important, is being real, open, and honest throughout this whole process. Okay, and so perhaps the last question, why did you move to the Philippines? Number one, we wanted to give our kids the experience of traveling worldwide. And we wanted to be able to do that without being tied to any sort of schedule. So that was a huge reason for the move, because a lot of the places that we wanted to travel to initially are all throughout Southeast Asia. And so being here in the Philippines allows us to have sort of a home base, as you might put it, to jump off and travel to all those different locations. In fact, we do have a trip coming up sometime in November. We are going to sprinkle lots of little trips in between there and different things to share with everybody as far as what the Philippines has to offer. it is the country where my husband was born, so it makes a lot of sense for us to be here. He does speak the language, so that helps. But it's also something I'm familiar with, in having been around the Filipino family and the Filipino culture for as long as we've been married. I've grown very accustomed to it, and I am used to it. So it actually feels like home to me. I know that might sound weird to some people, but it really does. I do feel like I am home when I am surrounded with this culture. Obviously, cost of living is a lot different than it is in the US. We have a little bit more freedom in the things that we can do on a regular basis because we don't have to spend as much money to do those things. I mean, really, overall, it's the freedom to travel. That's what we wanted. It's what we've wanted to do. We have made the decision to, in essence, retire early and enjoy being able to do the things that could potentially be more difficult if we were older. So we wanted to do them while we were young, while our kids were young, and we wanted to be able to document that and share that with everyone here. I see my honey and the boys packing everything up over there. Come on, Roan. All right, so that's it for us in our day at the pool and a little bit of Q&A. I hope I answered your questions, but if you have any more, please let us know in the comments down below. I do have a question for everyone who's watching. What kind of stuff do you want to see from us more? Do you prefer restaurants? Do you like travel? Do you want to know about our day-to-day activities? Please let us know in our comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. Salamat. Ingat till next time. All right, so a question that I want to answer for everyone. Not stuck anymore, but my arm hurts. There's a bug on the lens. I can see it crawling right here. You probably can't.